Friends, in this video, let us know how to study effectively in less time. We must know that our brain is very powerful. It can store 20 to 30 lakh YouTube videos at a time. Great people like Vivekananda, Abdul Kalam, and Edison proved their mind power. If we use our brains effectively, we can also become great like them. But we don't know how to use our brains. This is our major drawback. Now friends, let us see some techniques on how to study more effectively in less time. The first technique is called as promodoro technique. One can study effectively by giving breaks. This is called promodoro technique. We must give a 15-minute break after every 2 hours of study. By giving breaks, we can study effectively. Some studies have revealed that our mind can remember the studied concepts effectively by this technique. Our intelligence increases and our memory power also increases by this technique. By this technique, our brain gets refreshed and we will not feel fatigued, and also we will not feel bored by studying. According to a scientist, Daniel Bohr, if we study by Pomodoro technique, we will get an idea on total content of syllabus and we can proceed by making a proper schedule. If we study by this technique of giving breaks, we can remember the studied content at maximum. If students study without giving breaks, they cannot estimate how much they have to study, and also by sitting for long hours, body becomes tired, our memory power also decreases, and they cannot study the scheduled content in less time. Now friends, let us move to the second technique, that is AQSRS. When you want to study and whatever you want to study, study by AQSRS method. In AQSRS method, the first letter A means analyzing. That means you need not study the entire book letter by letter, but you must know which chapter or topic is important and which is not. Here you have to analyze which topic is most important to study. Whatever is important, you must underline it so that it becomes easier when you revise during your exams. Now comes the next letter Q. That means questions. By this method, you must get a knowledge that which chapter is important and which chapter we can ignore. You must frame your questions from the textbook and deeply know which question is important for examination point of view, and read the answers to those questions accordingly. Now coming to the next letter S, which means study. In analyzing method, you did not study deeply, but now you must study and understand the topics deeply. You have to read by knowing which question is important and then search in your textbook or in your study material the answer for that question, and make a notes on important questions chapter wise, and read until you understand the topic completely. The next letter is R, which means revise. In revise technique, you must read again for second time all the topics you covered before, so that you can remember them completely. For the first time, when you read, you will be knowing which chapter is easy and which is hard. So for the second time, when you read, it becomes easier for you to know the tough topics, and when you read for the second time, your tough topics become easier to study and you can understand them better. So like this, if you study, you will be completely knowing the full subject and you will be ready for your exams. The next comes the letter S, which means short notes. You must prepare a short notes. That means you must write down important topics and summarize the entire topic. You must summarize the topics which are tough and which are easy. Write the summary as bullet points so that it becomes easier to remember and revise during your examinations. Next, the third technique is power of concentration. You must not study as let it go, but you have to study by keeping concentration in that particular subject which you are revising. Some students think that they can study while eating, speaking with their friends. This is known as multitasking. Multitasking must be avoided at any cost, otherwise, you cannot concentrate on what you are studying. The result is that you cannot give your exam well and you may fail in your exam. The fourth technique is that unsystematic life. You must prepare a schedule for your studies, otherwise, you will not be able to handle so many subjects. So, prepare a timetable, that is, when to get up, when to study, when to eat, and when to go to your school or college. If you follow your schedule, this will help you in effective studying. On the other hand, if you don't have any schedule or timetable, you will waste your precious time by chatting with your friends, by watching television, etc. And it becomes very hard to get time to study. All your days will go in vain. And when your exams are approaching, you will not be able to complete your syllabus and study well because of tension. So do not lead an unsystematic lifestyle. Study well by preparing a timetable and keep timings for each subject. So by an organized lifestyle, you will get success. The fifth technique is isolation. If you study in a room which is yours, then nobody can disturb you. By keeping yourselves in a particular room which is your study room, everyone in your family knows that you are studying and they should not disturb you. If you study in isolation, you can focus more on your studies and you can study more in less time. The sixth technique is health. You should maintain your health in good condition. Health means both physical and mental health. Exercise daily. By this, the brain will be receiving more oxygen and it gets energy to study. Mentally also, you must be calm and try to be cheerful always. And do meditation for some time early in the morning. Mentally, you must not be driven away by fear during exams. Keep your mind strong, then you can remember whatever you studied during your exams, and you can write exams wonderfully and score high percentages. So friends, these are the techniques to study smart and effectively in less time. Thank you for watching.